Hello guys, in this video I want to talk about two contraptions with Create that I have copied here on the For the Trees SMP, and I want to remember forever what they do and how they do it. So here we have this one. Let me turn it on. So this contraption here cuts the trees and it receives saplings, sticks and wood, logs. Then it has storage on it. Then it connects here to another contraption. Here we have a funnel with a filter. So what it does right now, the way it's set up, is that there is an encased fan. There is lava under the portable storage interface. A trapdoor to prevent the lava from running loose. And then the wood here is turning into charcoal. Here we have a brass funnel. And this is the filter, so it's accepting charcoal. So the wood is turned into charcoal through this contraption here. On the brass funnel, we also have a filter with the logs that we are actually using. Now, you can either, for example, you can skip the lava and you can simply use this to just store logs. Same way. So at some point I needed a lot of logs and I did that. Then I placed that back and now I want to use the charcoal for mana. So I want it to automatically turn into blocks of charcoal, and for that reason on this particular server they have, and this mod pack, they have pretty pipes. So I used pretty pipes with a low extraction module set in the filter that these slots are allowed. So it draws the charcoal from this drawer into the crafter. I've placed this hovering hourglass here with 5 sand. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's working. And why do we have a cedar log there? Damn. Oh, something's not right. I know what's going on here. The hopper hog is now next to the crafter and it's using it as a chest. Pretty sure that this is what's happening. Wow. Yeah, you see, these particles mean that they disappeared. We could keep it this way and place a filter, just as we have here. It picks, well, it should pick up only items in frames. Let's craft very quickly. A filter. So I'm going to place the filter on the crafter. No, not this one. We actually need this one. Pick up only items in frames, so it should only pick up charcoal or coal. Charcoal, I don't think it will ever pick up. Maybe it will. Maybe we should Well, if it picks up charcoal, it will place it inside the crafter, so that's fine. Yeah, so with the one of the forests, you can click on the hopper hog and set it in a way that it picks up only items in frames, or it doesn't pick up the items in frames, depending what you want to do. And I have the fences here so that they don't fly far away. Even if the items were flying far away from the crafter, it still picks them up. I just don't know why the crafter doesn't want to work with the pipes. It just wants to extract items by spitting them out. So anyway, this seems to be working now. We have another pipe here with a extraction module. The filter, items and filter slots are allowed. So we also have another water wheel here so that the encased fan can work. And now I'm going to go through the contraption here. So we have here a mechanical bearing. This is on top of a water wheel under the dirt that's running with water. And that's how it's getting its power from. Then we have 4 mechanical saws. Behind them 4 planks, chest on the planks, portable storage interface facing outwards, jungle planks, and then we have deployers. All deployers have to have filter, the sapling, so you have to place one after the other so that on the sides you can place the filter. And then you need to use glue. I don't think I have the glue on me. Glue. Yeah, that's the glue. So you just right click with the glue from one side of the contraption until the other side, and you will see it gets highlighted and you can glue it together. So this is the one contraption. This has been so incredibly helpful here because I needed massive amounts of mana, charcoal, wood. I needed wood, and when you're playing a mod pack that's really tedious, you really don't want to be spending hours just chopping down trees. Now we will go to the next contraption. This one's trickier. And this place is extremely chaotic, guys. I don't know how I will be able to explain this, but this is the contraption I copied from Mechanus. The other contraption I copied from Dion. So this basically is creating mercury shards for Theurgy. Here it's full of mercury. So I started, when I was building it and I was copying this from Mechanus, I started with the water wheel here. Ignore the deployer and the cogwheel because I just placed them for something else there. Yeah, so this is the water wheel of the original contraption. And then we have a gearbox, large cogwheel, underside encased cogwheel, small cogwheel on the large one, then a large one on the small one. Then we have a large one after the encased cogwheel, and another encased cogwheel. So yeah, this is very complicated. Somehow you encase them so that you are able to actually connect them, because otherwise they're gonna be spinning on their own speed and they will not be sticking together. So by encasing stuff, you can make them run next to each other. So for this area you have to improvise a bit, because they will not be sticking together until you encase them. Now, so we have a shaft now on this encased cogwheel. And we have cogwheels here behind. Connected to the shaft, we have one shaft, one cogwheel, another cogwheel next to it, one on top, one next to it. And yeah, we have a shaft here and a shaft here so that the belts are connecting. Don't ask me how one placed them there. You can probably just place blocks behind them to make them stay there. Cool. I have to say that I was not a fan of automation. Well, I am a fan of automation. I'm just not a fan of building these things because they are very complex. And I don't know Create, but these give you such a huge advantage if you manage to get these machines. So I do want to learn now Create. So from the underside encased cogwheel, we have the belt. And behind it we have the cherry drawer and a funnel and another funnel. So this belt is going this way and the other belt is going that way. Here in the middle we have the sprout. The sprout is connected to these fluid tanks with a mechanical pump. The mechanical pump has apparently, this thing is supposed to be an arrow. I didn't know, but they told me. So it has to be pointing this direction. I assume you right click to make it go that direction. We have a fluid pipe here connecting 4 fluid tanks on each side, and there are Salamonic accumulators on top with faucets and waterlogged leaves all around. So they are connected to the pipe, the mechanical pump, and then the Salamonia goes into the spout. And the spout goes into a bucket. So this is the bucket chest. The bucket of Salamoniac then goes through the funnel here into the crafter. And the crafter has just this recipe and it turns the Salamoniac bucket into Salamoniac. And then it spits it out over there. Then the belt takes it and places into this drawer. So the drawer, in order for it not to receive the bucket, because we didn't have a lot of resources here in the beginning, I think that's why the builder of this used the trick of the lock. So he locked the storage drawer so that it will only be receiving this crystal and not the bucket. And then the bucket goes out through here and goes inside the funnel into the bucket drawer. And that's basically how it's working. Opposite of the crafter we have 2 blocks and 2 slabs. Where are the buckets? I think we have only 1 bucket and that's on me for some reason. We should have more buckets. I don't know where they went. Yeah, I'm gonna bring a few more buckets. And behind the crafter, we have a hovering hourglass with 2 sand. Just right click the sand into it. In the crafter you have to just disable everything else apart from the middle slot. Yeah, and this is the contraption. And that's how we get automatically mercury shards. Then I did a little bit of alchemy of my own here, because the mercury distiller is here. Okay, so the mercury distiller receives through a hopper the mercury shards. No, the Salamonica crystals it receives. They go through here into the mercury distiller. The mercury distiller is working and sending through the hopper mercury shards into the cherry drawer. So I wanted to separate a little bit the production from the storage. That's why I placed some extra drawers here. Excuse me. So I placed this drawer here so that I can actually collect more mercury, and then because the original builder had it going immediately into the catalyst. And then I have another chest with more space. And from here, from the Salamoniac chest, we have the option to place another hopper here, so that if I want to gather crystals, so you see I have a few drawers over there, I can do that. But now I have disconnected the hopper because I wanted to use this drawer for different things. I have the calcination oven here for alchemical salts. You can also use the crystals for alchemical salts. Pretty sure that's why I had it there. Yeah, it gives minerals. So you can just connect it with a hopper to get massive amounts of minerals, which I don't need anymore because I have a lot. So I disconnected it and I'm creating some different types of alchemical salts. But if I need it again, I can easily just reconnect it. And of course, once you need a little bit mercury to start the mercury catalyst, you need to have caloric flux emitters connected to the machines. So you craft them, you right click the emitters on the machines like the mercury distiller and then place them on the catalyst. Every flux emitter will only work on one machine. Therefore, you need to have several. And the sulfuric flux emitter works with the reformation pedestals. So you connect this to these pedestals, the sulfuric one. And because I have a lot of machines, as you see here, I crafted 2 catalysts so that I can have more caloric emitters. So I have under the chest 2 different hoppers, and from one chest they connect to 2 different mercury catalysts. So bear in mind that in this mod pack the resources are very rare and very difficult to get stuff, and that's why I had to resort to weird ways of connecting stuff with hoppers. And here we have the incubator. It's also connected and working. This could be worth mentioning because this contraption here is just a liquefaction cauldron to create sulfurs, iron sulfurs, with a hemoglobic fluid bucket. If you use the deployer, in these mod packs it works. I don't know if it works in others as well, But there's this small glitch that if the liquefaction cauldron is full and you use a bucket on it at whatever capacity, as long as it's not below 1000, it will fill the cauldron without using the bucket. So I have the deployer here and it keeps pushing the bucket there, so it's like having infinite hemoglobic fluid. Hopper just to... these hoppers are just to give items into the cauldrons so that I can be AFK. And then here we have some fermentation vats, digestion vats connected to waterlogged leaves. Another digestion vat which I connected to salmoniac. And we have a accumulator on top of it, faucets, waterlogged leaves. And here is just a standalone liquefaction cauldron. It receives salmoniac from the faucet through a terracotta channel, which channel also has apparently an arrow. So difficult to see. You see it? That's supposed to be an arrow. Whatever. So you need to click that if it's not working. Basically, these are all the contraptions. Now I have them on video, and if I need to create them again in some kind of server or SMP, I will be able to do that. However, I sincerely hope that I can design a more beautiful machine, because this is like a monster. I needed to dig down to make this work because of the hoppers, because I wasn't able to use any kind of pipes. The pretty pipes required quartz and stuff, so this will probably be the most difficult thing to recreate. But the thing is, as long as we can get power into this point with a good rotational speed, it should work. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, don't ask me because I don't know. No, just kidding. Ask me and I'll try to answer if I know, or I will ask my friends. Goodbye.